This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Hannah Belinsky coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Wednesday, February 25th. Tariff pressure eases as Taiwan sees Goldilocks economy signs. Taiwan to participate in Pacific Islands Forum hosted by Palau. And Lai urges military to boost asymmetric defense at promotion ceremony. But first, today's top story. Taiwan's manufacturing sector continued its upward streak for the seventh straight month in January, with the Business Climate Index rising to 98.44, according to the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research. The services sector climbed for the fourth month to 95.47, while construction dipped to 99.92. TIER's Macroeconomic Forecasting Center Director Sun Mingde said strong global demand for AI and high-performance computing has sustained manufacturing growth. Improving exports and a buoyant stock market have also boosted consumer confidence, pushing domestic demand growth above 2%.
If Taiwan's economy grows by 7% while prices rise less than 2%, it will be a relatively balanced development.
Sun described the scenario as a Goldilocks economy, an ideal state of moderate growth and low inflation. Sun noted that the impact of U.S. retaliatory tariffs has eased after the Supreme Court ruled certain reciprocal tariffs unconstitutional. Current rates under Section 122 are capped at 15% and limited to 150 days, less severe than last year's broad-based hikes. At a Lunar New Year gathering of small and medium-sized enterprises, Taiwan's economic minister Gong Mingxin said tariff reductions from 20% to 15% have improved competitiveness against Japan and South Korea. Palau's government will host the 55th Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Summit this year, with Taiwan pledging its full support, the foreign ministry stated on Tuesday. Per officials, Palau has begun consultations with close partners, including Taiwan, the United States, Japan, and Australia, on how to make the gathering a success. Taiwan, which participates in the PIF as a development partner, will work with Palau to highlight the years of bilateral cooperation during the summit, according to the ministry. Michael Lin, Director General of the Department of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, said Palau aims to use the event to showcase how democratic partners and Pacific Island countries are advancing regional development, good governance, and resilience. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong visited Palau in December to inspect planned summit venues and promised to assist in setting up green transportation to shuttle dignitaries, which will later serve residents. Taiwan is also planning displays during the forum to present key achievements in agriculture, fisheries, clean energy, tourism, healthcare, and infrastructure cooperation with Palau. Lin said Taipei is confident Palau will uphold PIF traditions and the Pacific way of inclusiveness and consensus building as it welcomes member states and partners to the summit. Taiwan will, as in past years, send a delegation to participate in related meetings and events under its development partner status. Presiding over the March General Officer Promotion Ceremony Wednesday morning, President Lai Ching-te urged the armed forces to accelerate the development of asymmetric capabilities in response to rapidly changing regional conditions and complex threats. In his address, Lai first congratulated Jiang Bingcong on his promotion to Major General, praising him as a senior C-130 transport aircraft pilot who has long been dedicated to airlift and combat readiness missions. He expressed hope that in his new post as Deputy Wing Commander, he will strengthen combat preparedness with a broader strategic perspective, enhance joint operational effectiveness, and ensure air power can respond swiftly and effectively at critical moments. Lai emphasized that amid rapidly evolving regional dynamics and hybrid threats, the military must continue making strategic and technological advancements while integrating whole-of-society defense resilience into national defense efforts.
By combining technological and institutional innovation and leveraging artificial intelligence and advanced technologies, Taiwan must accelerate the building of asymmetric defense. The armed forces must also demonstrate agile and flexible response capabilities, embedding national defense awareness deeply among service members and the public.
The president thanked military families for their steadfast support and expressed hope that all will work together to show their determination to safeguard Taiwan's free and democratic way of life. American figure skater Alyssa Liu recently won gold at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Her father, Arthur Liu, said in a recent interview with Japanese media that China had approached in hopes that his daughter would compete under the Chinese flag, but he refused, citing China's human rights record and saying that money cannot buy principles or integrity. Alyssa won the first individual Olympic gold in women's figure skating for the United States in 24 years, in addition to helping the U.S. secure team gold. Her father explained that he was contacted ahead of the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics when China was recruiting overseas Chinese talent globally. Without revealing details, he confirmed that he made clear his daughter would not represent China. Liu was born in China's Sichuan province but fled to the U.S. at the age of 25 after being targeted for participating in the 1989 Tiananmen pro-democracy movement. He later earned a law degree in California and founded his own law firm in the San Francisco Bay Area. After refusing China's recruitment offers, Liu said he faced pressure and believes he has been monitored by Chinese authorities for decades. According to public records, Liu was indeed a target of a case in which the U.S. Department of Justice indicted 5 individuals accused of engaging in transnational harassment and surveillance of Chinese dissidents in the United States in March 2022. That year, Liu told AP that he agreed to let his daughter compete in Beijing only after receiving assurances from the U.S. government and the U.S. Olympic Committee that she would have close protection during her time in China. Reflecting on the nearly 37 years he has lived in the U.S., he said his children could be considered descendants of the June 4th generation. Tiangong's birthday kicks off the Hokkien New Year with Pingdong's dedicated temple exhibiting rare sacred statues that have devotees gasping.
Wednesday, February 25th, marks the 9th day of the Lunar New Year, Tiangong's birthday, often referred to as Hokkien New Year. Temples across Taiwan draw crowds for prayers and blessings. At Pingdong's Jade Emperor Temple, celebrating its 50th anniversary, a mythical beast party market brings out rarely seen treasures. Chen Yihui, chairperson of Pingdong City's Jade Emperor Temple, explains that they have unveiled 15 sacred god-beast statues from their private collection, including familiar animals like oxen, horses, and sheep, plus unusual ones, a nautilus shell and a sawfish with its shark-like sword feature. Among its total 123 water, land, and air beasts, highlights include a horse for success for the year of the horse, and a butterfly symbolizing peace and happiness. One in particular stands out, a fly god-beast, drawing gasps from visitors who call it a first-time sight. Meanwhile, at Kaohsiung's Jade Emperor Temple, a champion pavilion offers homeless people a spot to receive offerings from the faithful without disrupting worship flows. Open from 8:30 a.m. today through tomorrow evening, it's named for ancient beggars who rose to become top scholars through imperial examinations. Organisers say it's Taiwan's only such setup on Tiangong's birthday. A divine celebration blending faith, culture and community. Eloise Phillips for RTI News.
United Microelectronics Corporation founder Robert Cao recently published an open letter on social media addressed to Chinese President Xi Jinping, emphasizing that aggression against Taiwan is a dead end. In a Radio Taiwan International interview, Cao said that unification is aggression, that pursuing unification would lead to the CCP's downfall, and that Taiwan should be wary of the pro-China virus mindset. In a nearly 6,000-word open letter he published on Facebook, Cao outlined the many ways in which attacking Taiwan would lead to negative outcomes, pulling examples from Chinese history, international treaties, and corruption within the People's Liberation Army. In an interview that coincided with the 4th anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war, he noted what lessons the conflict offers Taiwan and China and further elaborated on the contents of his open letter. He said that unification is aggression, likening it to a strategy from a bygone era and calling it regrettable that the CCP still saw fit to apply such ancient practices in the modern day. He urged Taiwanese not to stand with China and to adopt a preventative approach, warning others to avoid associating with pro-China forces. Taiwan must strongly condemn pro-unification individuals, Cao said, pointing to lawmakers and especially the DPP. Going forward, he said he hopes the DPP will not simply focus on elections, but also on safeguarding Taiwan to not betray the trust of the Taiwanese public. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Hannah Valinsky. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.